Hello guys, welcome to this new class. Today we're going to learn about to and enough and how to use these words to express ourselves. To and enough. Both of these words indicate a degree. They give us more information about an adjective or a noun. The word enough expresses that something is sufficient in a positive sense, and to expresses that there is more of something but in a negative way. To means more than what is wanted. It's usually a negative thing. I'm too hungry to concentrate. We can say that this sentence expresses a negative feeling, to be hungry, but in a negative way. I'm too hungry and I can't concentrate. As we can see, the word to is located before the adjective hungry. Here we can see that Homer is saying, the army said I was too heavy. And we can see on his face, that he is trying to say that this is negative. The fact that he is heavy. We have 3 examples here of the use of the word to. He's driving too fast. We can see that here we can find a red X. That means that this expression is said in a negative way. He's driving too fast. Is dangerous. Is something negative. The second sentence says, you're speaking too quick for me. You're speaking too quick for me and I can't understand you. So that's the reason why this is negative. You're speaking too quick for me. I can't understand. The third sentence says, he's too old to drive. This is negative. Why? Because he is too old to drive and he can have an accident. That's why this is something negative. As we can see, always we can find the word to before an adjective. The yellow words are adjectives, words that describe a noun or an object. For example, fast, quick, or old. We can always find to before the adjective. And as we said, when we use to, we are always speaking about negative things. Now, for the negative form, we have to put the word not before to, and then the adjective. We have the same three examples, but in negative form. The first one, he's driving not too fast. We can see that we just add the word not before to, and we already formed the negative form. The second example, you're speaking not too quick for me. And the third example, he's not too old to drive. In this negative form, we want to express the opposite of the affirmative form. That this is not something negative, that this is the opposite. For example, he's driving not too fast. He's driving in a good speed. You're speaking not too quick for me. You're speaking in a good speed. I can understand you. It's okay. He's not too old to drive. He's young enough to drive. He can drive. Now, the word enough tells us that it is the amount that we want or we need. It is a sufficient quantity and it's a positive thing. We have this example. You're good enough to speak English. That means that you know how to speak English. That your knowledge in English is sufficient to speak it. Now, here we can see that the adjective that we are using is the word good. Now, the word enough comes always after the adjective. We can find the words that are adjectives in color yellow. Now, the structure is adjective, enough, to, and the verb in infinitive. And when we use the word enough, we're speaking about positive things. We have three more examples here using the word enough and following the previous structure. The first one, I'm strong enough to lift those boxes. I'm strong enough to lift those boxes. I can lift the boxes. That's the reason why we can find a plus sign here, because that's something positive. The second example, it's warm enough to go for a swim. We're saying that the weather is warm and it's okay if we go for a swim. That is not cold outside, that we can swim and we are not going to get a cold. The third example, he is entertaining enough to perform on stage. We're saying that he's talented or he knows how to act, and that he can act on the stage. That he is very good acting. That's something positive, and that's why we are using the word enough. Now, if we want to use the word enough in the negative form, we just have to add the word not before the adjective. Then we have to write the word enough, the word to, and the verb in infinitive form. We have the same 3 sentences, but in negative form. The first one, I'm not strong enough to lift those boxes. I can't lift those boxes because I'm not strong. That's the opposite thing that we said in the previous examples in the affirmative form. The second example, it's not warm enough to go for a swim. It means that the weather is cold outside and maybe it's not good to go for a swim right now. The third example, he is not funny enough to perform on stage. Maybe he is not funny and it's not a good idea that he performs on a stage. It's the opposite thing to the first sentence in the affirmative form. Now we can also use enough with nouns. When we are using enough with nouns, that word should be before the noun, okay? Enough first plus the noun. And we are going to express enough in this way to say or to talk about positive things. Here we have 3 examples to give you or to show you how to use the word enough in this way. I have enough time. In this case, the noun is the word time. And we are saying that I have the sufficient time for doing something. The second one, there are enough seats in the car. You should come. We are saying that we have sufficient seats free and that there are people that can go in the car. The third example, we have enough money. Let's buy it. We're saying that we have sufficient money and that we can buy something. Now, if we want to use the word enough with a noun in the negative form, we just have to write the word not before the word enough and finally the noun. We have 3 examples, the same 3 examples that we had in the previous slide, but in the negative form. The first one, I have not enough time. That means that I don't have time for doing something. The second example, there are not enough seats in the car. You shouldn't come. We are saying that we don't have seats or space in the car, and that it's not a good idea that you come. You shouldn't come. And the third example, we have not enough money. We can't buy it. We don't have money, or we don't have the sufficient money to buy something. We can't buy it. Well, guys, thank you very much for paying attention. I hope you enjoyed the class, and I'll see you later to do some exercises and improve your skills with this topic. See you soon. Bye bye.